8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, there's an old moon. Yeah, the next, what am I going? And you've got us feeling alright. Now, John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. Gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke. Oh, he'll light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, Mr. John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist, never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics, as the businessmen, they slowly get stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. I hope you are. It's a pretty good crowd, as normal, for a Sunday. Although not so many of you were listening last week, so I hope you're adding on now. Now the weather's closing in, and Search the Midwife isn't doing what it needs to do for you. And the manager, well, she gives you all a thumbs up and a smile. My fingers are a bit rusty, I have to say. They are really rusty. I had a week off and I'm all... Well, but I think it's quite important to establish that she knows that it's me. Be coming to see. She knows that it's me. They've been coming to see. I know that it's me. They've been coming to see. She knows that it's me. They've been coming to see. To forget about life. Well, some of it anyway. For a while. Oh, and the piano is smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 la. La 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 la. Feeling alright. Chords die away and the mouth organ dies. We welcome you to once again the show.
Good evening.
That makes.
Good evening.
Hunt the Midwife look like the one show.
Stop reminding them. They'll
you
rush
do
on
not.
to watch
None
it.
of you. I will know if any of you, because I can tell whether you go away. You see, that's the thing. That.
Anyway.
What?
Good evening. As you can tell, Jonathan is in good voice tonight. Hurrah!
Is it 8:23 already?
Well, no, it's 8:07.
No, I mean 8:07.
8:07.
Goodness. Do you know,
Takes
I
a long
looked at that. I
time.
thought hasn't the time gone?
Jonathan, they're all commenting on how smart you look.
Shut up.
And I just wonder what they're trying to say.
Shut up. All right?
Anyone
Next
would
week
think
it's back to
that
the
you
pyjamas.
weren't dapper in a jacket every week.
Can I just say that there is no way
I
I'm
make
wearing
the
a
effort. I make the effort.
I'm not making the effort. This shirt hasn't seen me since around about March, okay? And I
It's a
couldn't
good
fit
sign.
into it,
It's a
actually.
good sign that you're wearing it. The pounds
And
are coming
so
off.
Fat Man's trousers have come off and the pounds are dropping off. I'm rowing around about 34 miles a day, and I go to Reading and back, and in my studio, and I thank the lovely Kieran Doran for the loan of his machine. And Kieran, it's never seen as much exercise as it's seeing now.
As if.
I mean, I don't know what you've been doing out there, brother, but Kieran is a major international cyclist. So my rowing,
The
I go,
machine's
it's like I
going,
can go like this.
What?
And there, breathe, and again, and again, and again. And he's going, and it's like that. But as he explains to me, weight loss, which is what I've got to do, I've got to lose 34 stone in the matter of literally a week. So
He's joking.
I don't think
He's
it's
joking.
so we have it's Remembrance Sunday today, and we watched a lovely thing that those of you who may see have posted it on my website, on my site, from my site, that Rachel Lawrence made for Barrow Council.
That's lovely.
And it was a lovely
Lots
morning.
of lovely services.
Lots of lovely services all around the place. We also watched John Dix this morning and really
Very moving.
enjoyed that. A soldier who's was invalided out of the army, lost both his legs, and was an inspiration to many. And I know, John, thank you for having him on and for the questions that you asked him, which was actually even more pertinent, which was great. We've got lots of songs and things. We've got some interesting people that are coming on tonight, and I just I ask you to be patient with me tonight, and also in general as I sing and share stuff of myself. And it is important to say this, that these evenings are evenings where I share of myself, and that does mean sometimes mentioning elephants in rooms. It does mean sometimes being uncomfortable for some of you and comfortable for others. We cannot get out without mentioning the name Trump.
Speaking of elephants.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to look into the camera And you've got to work out whether I'm happy or sad. I think that's clear. And and we pray actually that justice will flow like a river, and that mercy equally will flow like a river. One of the things I was talking to a great friend of mine, Jonathan Stevens, today, who's a judge with his wife, who's also a judge, and we were reflecting on the Mandela situation when Mandela took over, and everybody expected it to be a bloodbath. Black and white, revenge killings. And there were some of those things, but what happened with Bishop Tutu and Mandela is they established the Truth and Reconciliation Committee when they realised actually that the people who were perpetrating this stuff were as much victims of the situation as perpetrators. And so it was turned on its head and people were given a chance to speak. And mercy was shown. And as mercy was shown, tears flowed. And as tears flowed, reconciliation was had. Has it turned out to be perfect? No, it hasn't by any means. And those living in South Africa, I know you know what I mean by that. However, what was showed at that time was an act of mercy, which I think actually even now, not gloating, and I think that would be the worst thing that we can do now, but actually show by our magnanimity, whether we have faith or no faith, and generosity, we offer the hand of friendship out. Even if it's rejected, we offer it out, and we offer the best to Mr. Biden, who seeks to pick up the run with the baton at a very difficult time. We also, at this time, I want to praise Boris, who gave 170 million for children to have. He did a U-turn, performed a U-turn on these children's meals that I spoke about some weeks ago that made some people uncomfortable. Sorry about that, but actually what's wonderful is you see the pressure was brought to bear, change was made, children will eat. And so that is a wonderful thing. And when praise is due, that's when we praise people. Some songs for people, and today is by a man, I know Sam Cowan in Belfast. I saw this guy perform in Belfast, and his name is
Van the Man.
Van the Man.
And
Van
this
Morrison.
is particularly for Pauline. It was your birthday yesterday, Pauline. You were so hoping that the launch concert was going to be your special treat. We apologise for that, but happy birthday for yesterday. And Samuel has requested this for you tonight, I'm sure with a special reason. So from Van the Man.
Song I recorded
JV.
some time ago on Pilgrim, the album Pilgrim, and it goes like this. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Oh, the sun in all his glory greets the day with hope and comfort too. And you fill my life with laughter, you can make it better, ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours, it's mine, and it shines like the sun at the end of the day. We should give thanks and pray to the one, to the one. Oh, have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours, it's mine. Oh, and it shines like the sun. We should give thanks and pray to the one, to the one. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Oh, take away my sadness, fill my life with gladness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Oh, fill my life with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Remember that? I used to sing that for you, didn't I?
You used to,
I used to sing that. I did.
I hope you still do.
There are lots of songs that we want you to. Has any of you listened to?
Oh, I think they've all watched it, darling.
Have you all watched it?
I think they have.
Can I have your responses right now? Did you really like it? Was it better than you thought it was going to be? On the recording, it moves me to tears every time I listen to it. And Mark Edwards in his orchestration it's just I think just phenomenal. So just if you like it, say yes right now. And that we've got over 8,000 views now. That since that's 26 hours ago or something like that, 27 hours, that not long. So that's quite a phenomenal response. Bearing in mind we've our best was 20. Oh, it's 10.
And that took a long time
to get there, and you've had less than 24 hours.
So thank you, everyone.
So thank you for everyone, and keep sharing it because we want this album to get out there and become known by people. Now,
and no, John, it's not ready yet. It's almost ready, but
so
not yet.
So is John asking?
Yes, of course. Where's
John,
my CD?
Now, John, when it's ready, here we go. I'm going to say this to you, John, because I know I love you. Okay, it's heart to heart. All right. When it's ready, you will get it. All right. Now, on Monday, the artwork is now, I think, finished tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
And we're now waiting for the licensing from a group called the MCPS, which is the.
It's so complicated.
It's so complicated. The licensing, which is the legal bit, because we cannot put it out until the licensing comes. We couldn't get it mastered and done until we couldn't get it licensed until we'd had it mastered. We couldn't get it mastered until we get to certain numbers. The numbers then came through this week because COVID had delayed them. What a surprise. And so now that's going off to...
We are so almost there.
But then it will be manufacturing to Uckfield, and then Uckfield will get it to us, and that will be hopefully within I think I'm going to say 10 days, something like that, of us getting the license numbers this week. I hope that's going to be the case. Now, does that answer you, John? Answer me. Does that answer you?
Sure,
I want you to say to Sue now. You understand? I can't see your response.
Claire's saying the artwork is done.
The artwork is done.
She met her deadline.
All right. So, now I'm going to do a couple of sad songs. Sad songs. It's been a tough week for us, and no transplant as yet. and that because my BMI is too large, and so it won't do it till it's 35, and it was 39, and they didn't tell us this, and the consultant had to apologise on this Friday because he hadn't told us in 12, 14 months that was a case, and that's what the surgeon said. So now we're in a position where I will have to do 3 days a week of...
Not yet.
Not yet, but when I do, I'll have to go up to Epsom to do it.
Dialysis is what he's talking about.
And which is a major trauma for me in my head because that stops my life in a major way. And so, but I'll still be able to keep teaching, I hope, and we can organise our teaching university like that. But it is a major thing. And,
it is a major thing.
So suddenly that stops my life and holidays and all that kind of malarkey. In the meantime, we wait for the transplant, and eventually one day they say maybe, depending on COVID and everything else. But I'm not expecting it any time this side of June. So, and I think that's probably realistic, given where we are, which is against everything that they wanted to do, and so it upset me a lot.
The surgeon our consultant wanted to preempt the dialysis, and that's not going to happen now. So it's about getting our heads around it, really.
So I'm just going to sing some sad songs because I was sad this week, and a lot of the album is songs of longing and sadness, actually, as well as songs of things like Smile. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking, although it's there. I haven't got the words. But that we to do that as we did last week. And that song is hard to sing, actually, for many of you. You understand what I mean. Often these songs, I'll sing this one because I like singing this one. And this one is for John Brown. John Bown.
So it's birthday today. Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday. This is for you.
The falling leaves drift by my window, the falling leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling you. When autumn leaves start to fall, she went away. The days go long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling you. When autumn leaves start to fall.
Sublime, Mr. JV. Sublime singing and sublime playing. Just beautiful.
Did you enjoy that?
We did. We enjoyed that very much.
It's a tricky song
The
to
runs.
enjoy.
People like the runs.
They like the runs.
Yes, the runs.
Well, is that what they like? Is that they like the chromatics? Did they?
Yes.
Are we on the phone?
Yes. Got it.
Okay, just phoning somebody now, as you can probably tell. Hopefully, they haven't gone to sleep. It might be. They've gone to sleep.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'm not going to answer this.
I'm not going to answer that. I'm watching JV.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Constable John. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. Bumps, everything else. What can I say? Are you still there?
He's put the phone down.
John? Yeah, it's done too.
Are you there, John? Oh.
Right.
the third stroke.
Well, that went down
At
like
the
a
third
lead
stroke.
balloon, didn't it? No, I'm gonna finish it and start it again. Call ended. Let's see. How was the quality of your call? I always love it when they say, "How was the quality of your call?" It was terrible. John put the phone down.
Perhaps he got all excited and dropped
He did,
it.
but perhaps he hasn't had a heart attack or anything, has he? It's the kind of thing that happens in my world. Okay, a woman once had a heart attack on the front row of a concert. All right, and I kid you not, he's not going to answer, is he?
Oh, well. We tried.
We did. Oh. No, he's not going to answer.
He's not going to answer. Perhaps he thinks it's a prank call
Perhaps
or a
thanks for
scam.
the prank call, yes, but yes.
Because there was
It's
that
pretty-
gap, wasn't there? Do you know what it's like? It's when there's a gap and you pick up the phone and there's a gap and you think that's a scam. I'm going to put the phone
Yep,
down.
and he's put the phone down, and
And
he's not going to
answering
answer.
it. Never mind. We tried.
All right. Well, in which case, we move on.
Move on.
And so, let's see whether this person answers. Should we see whether it's going to be phone a friend? It's phone a friend tonight, and it depends. It depends on who's around. Is anybody answering the phone these days?
Hello, Jonathan.
Oh, for goodness sake! Thank the Lord for that, Penny. Because people are refusing all over the country to answer my calls.
Who can blame them?
Oh, shame on them.
Yeah, I know, Penny. It's not right, is it? Do they
No,
know
it's
who
not.
I am?
It shows it on the phone.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's probably why John's not answered
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
It was his birthday.
Quite likely.
And we wish him happy birthday. Now, Penny, I'm phoning you because you had an operation on your eye, and
About number 5, I think.
Number 5, and you were typing to me messages that were in Chinese. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you.
I kept getting them. They made me laugh because predictive texting took it to all kinds of places that I don't want to go now. Okay.
I know. No, but it's so bad because I'm having to sit here with a magnifying glass, typing with one hand and holding the magnifying glass in the other.
It's not funny, is it? It's not funny getting old, is
You need
it?
a freestanding one.
No,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Have you seen? Look. Somebody out there, I know they will have. They're going to have a freestanding magnifying glass that they're not using. You know, one that they brought. They bought for their granny years ago.
Puts around their neck.
Or you can even better. It will make you feel even older. You can put it around your neck. You can carry one, and then when people come to the door that you don't like, hold it up in front of them. See what that does. Okay, I'm telling you, DPD will run a mile. You'll never get another parcel delivered.
Wonderful.
All right, I'm just saying, it's just a suggestion. I thought, have you ever seen your eye? If it's operated on and you put your eye through a magnifying glass, if that doesn't make a 21-year-old bloke from Poland run for his life. That's what I'm saying.
I have to tell you, my granddaughters, who are 5 and 10, say it looks like a Halloween eye at the moment because it's not yellow.
Dear.
Hey,
Oh,
the main thing is to use that and horrify them while you still can. Okay?
Oh yes, I make the most of it.
Absolutely. Anyway, Penny, I'm phoning you because you were on my list to phone tonight, and as John doesn't
thank
care and isn't listening, and John, that song was for you, by the way, Autumn Leaves, as you are there. How you getting on these days? Because you've had to, I no doubt, not be in contact with many people.
That's right. But thankfully, I was very busy up to the time I had the operation a week last Thursday.
Oh right.
In that my husband and I have been recording all the music for all the services right through lockdown at our church.
Oh my goodness! Everything.
We go out every Sunday. Everything, yes.
So on the organ, because you're an organist as well, aren't you? You're an organist and singer.
Well, yes, when I can. But my music room, because I've been teaching singing and piano for 40-odd years now, but my music room has been converted into a studio, and I record all the piano parts or organ parts. My husband does all the mixing on his 24-track mixing desk.
You're joking. Well, I feel as though, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm teaching my grandmother how to suck eggs here. You have been doing what we all wish we could do, which is release an album from home. Is that what you're going to do from now?
No, 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 we're not as good as you, Jonathan.
Well, I know, obviously. I mean, obviously. So can you just go and get my bottle of water, please? I think it's outside. I mean, that's obviously. I mean, clearly, who is as good as me? I mean, who is as... Do you know what was lovely was that somebody wrote and said...
Well, perhaps Mark Edwards, but...
Shut up! Shut up! All right. Calm down with the Mark Edwards thing. You know, whenever Mark's here, I go to bed and I think, oh, what did I do? You know, where did I go wrong?
But then, you know, you make a fantastic team, you two.
Yeah, he's a fabulous musician. Thank you, Susan Ann.
Yeah.
He's a fabulous musician. Did you enjoy it last week?
You just bounce off each other and amazing.
It was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was fabulous. But I felt for you. You were really suffering with your voice last week, weren't you?
I couldn't. I could feel it going earlier in the evening, and as in before we even went on air. And it's very difficult for a singer, isn't it? It's very difficult because once you've lost it, you know. I mean, I've only experienced that once on stage in all the years of opera, in 35 years of opera. And it was awful knowing that your vocal folds were eventually literally collapsing in front of people's eyes.
It's terrible. I remember when you were at Tamworth. Do you remember the Tamworth gig?
We were remembering this. That we've got to tell that story. Now, I'm interested, actually, Penny Webble, but they don't fall down.
Weeble.
I'm just saying...
Weeble.
I know! I'm just saying. Weebles, Womble... Sorry, I can't think of it without that, okay? All right? It helps me. It helps my memory.
That's all right.
And now with the eye, I think that's even better. It's even, you know... Anyway, Tell us your memory of us coming to Tamworth, because I shall tell it the way I'll tell it the apocryphal way, obviously, and then
Okay.
Go on then. What happened?
Well, I'd booked to take my mother for her 88th birthday to come and see you at Tamworth Assembly Rooms.
Yeah.
And a couple of friends were coming down from Chesterfield, Erica and David Clegg, who also follow on your programme.
Yeah, the lovely artist. She's a lovely
she's so multi-talented.
What a
It's
talent.
amazing.
Yeah, really.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we'd come in, it was pouring with rain, a horrible evening. We arrived at the Tamworth Assembly Rooms, came into the hall, and there was hardly anyone there.
There was nobody.
And we sort of sat and waited. There were about 10 of us in the audience.
Nobody there.
It was horrendous. And you'd set everything up on the stage.
I know.
Beautifully set up. And what you ended up doing was bringing everything down, and you gave us a private audience. Just the 10 of us.
It was just...
And it was just fabulous.
It was one of those evenings, wasn't it? I remember... Now, let me tell you, apocryphal, the way I remember it, was we turned up, and you remember it, don't you, Sue? Hold your microphone.
Penny won't be able to hear me if I'm talking like this. But
the audience can.
The audience can. So it was one of those things where a guy thought it was a good idea to put Jonathan on at theatres, but the publicity was terrible.
Dire.
And I wouldn't have gone to see him.
Publicity.
I have to say, it was really bad, really bad. And so we turned up and we said to them, how many tickets have you sold? And they said, 10.
10. They sold 10 tickets. And I just went, sorry, it's funny, because in all the noise here, I thought you said 10. 10! All right? 10? And anyway, the long story short, we started singing, and I did that chorus, that children's chorus, the other one. How did Moses cross the Red Sea?
Yes.
How did Moses cross the Red Sea? How did Moses cross the Red Sea? How did he get across? Did he swim? No. And I got them. And the few of you knew it. Went no. And we're up in Birmingham, of course. And I say this to Brother Andrew, who's up there right now, listening to this, having a great time. And we got to the bit, and he went, God blew with his wind. And normally it would be. They went, God blew with his wind, poof, 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 poof. And honestly, I couldn't stop laughing. I think it was probably about 5 minutes. And I said, I think you'll find it's puff, but never mind. Because it was with enough. And honestly, even there, I keep telling that story now today. So I remember that 10 people in a theatre in Tamworth. It got worse because we went to Clacton. Was it Clacton?
Clacton, yes.
We went to Clacton, and it's a massive theatre, Penny. I mean, massive, okay? And we went out there, and it was the same tour. Now, we've never played to places like this because we don't do it. We play it where people can, get
go
friends.
to churches where we can get the publicity.
And then
going.
theatres with a well publicised. So then we have 300-400 people or whatever it is. And we turned up to this one in Clacton, and again, same publicity, same guy, and he put Jonathan Vera of Songs of Praise. Well, if that isn't going to turn you off and nothing, you're just not going to turn up, are you? You don't care.
No.
And so as we came out, honestly, I came out, did my setup, and all the crew went, blimey, you're really good, aren't you?
Yes, they
What
loved
you doing here? What you doing in this theatre? You're the best thing we've ever had. And I said, yeah.
I can well believe that.
So we didn't say anything. Anyway, came out to the... And I swear to you, it was
We're
like
laughing now, but we were not laughing at the
time. A runway completely clear down the centre. And there were 2 seats on the right that were used and 2 seats on the left and one at the back. We had probably 5 people. All right? 5.
So
No, there were
disheartening.
more than people than that.
No, you're going to say...
There were about 15.
Oh, please, you see,
Well, we
15.
had several rows to the back.
Are you sure it wasn't 20?
Anyway, there we are. That was my remember of it. Anyway, Penny, you've asked for a song for me. I'll learn it for next week. I think it is by.
That would be lovely.
Who's it by?
Hoagie Carmichael.
Hoagie Carmichael. And so, given deference to your extraordinary musical background, and you were at the Royal Northern, weren't you? Were you?
No, I was at the Royal Academy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, it was nothing then. In which case, Obviously,
Cheeky boy.
I love. I think Penny is meant to be coming down here for some singing lessons as soon as the lockdown does end, and as soon as I can do it, and
That
we look
would be
forward
absolutely
to.
wonderful.
And I just wanted to give you a phone call to say we're thinking about you with your eye and how difficult it is. Thank you for doing the music that you do and keeping our spirits up online with people and all of the things that you are. And you're just a lovely person, and I think that's a great thing to be.
That's really kind of you, and thank you so much for all that you're sharing with us. I think I can speak for everyone when I say we're having an amazing lockdown with you and Sue. And
you're very blessed.
We're just praying, that you get your health sorted out and that you'll be able to bounce back and be the person you really are. That
would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, more frighteningly, it's worse than this. All right. Bless you.
It's good that you can laugh about it.
Well, I have to.
In all seriousness, we are praying for you.
Thank you, Penny. And give our love to all your chaps in the church there. And the next time you have a chat with them, just say we're sending our love to what you've had a very difficult time up that in the Midlands, and so we
send our love.
We send our love to you. All right.
Thank you ever so much.
Okay,
I'll
sing you a song now.
Okay.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Okay. I'm going to sing, I think. Yeah, I'll bring it while I can.
I think John had technical problems, so I think he'd be grateful if...
Oh, really?
I think he'd be grateful if you tried again.
I certainly am going to try again. Right, technical problems. Here we go. John.
Next chance, John.
Next chance. This is your last chance, John. Here it goes. Oh. We're giving you a chance now, Johnny boy. And if you can't contact you this time, then I'll contact you later on. All right? I think something has gone wrong with your. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's hard. Okay, John, we'll contact you a bit later on, okay? Because I'm not getting any signal at all. So there we go. I'll do it. Oh, no, John isn't receiving. It says John isn't receiving phone calls at the moment. So I'll phone you back. Okay, this one was requested. Bring him home. Now, it was requested last week by who was it, Sue?
Carol Evans wanted it for her birthday last week because of her family.
So
being
I'll
away.
try and give you a rendition that I couldn't give you last week.
It's not strepsils, guys. It's vocal zones. We don't go for strepsils. They're not strong enough. Vocal zones are the way that do it.
Enough.
They're not good enough.
They make your throat numb. These don't.
No.
These just help you to keep your thing moist.
And they're horrible.
On high, hear my prayer, in my need. You have always been there. Heaven bless. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. He's like the sun I might have known God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one. How soon they fly on and on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him be. If I die, let me die. Let him leave. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
Wow. His voice is back, folks. His voice is back, which is amazing.
Now,
and I am just going to take a little bit of credit that I persuaded him to do that in the first place. It took a little while, but I got there in the end.
did.
So you can all thank me later.
And thank you, Sue. No, I wouldn't have done it. And now remember, it's originally in this key. God on high, God on high. It's that kind. Yeah, that it's in there. And I drew it zone. God on high. So it's for bass baritone, so lower voice. And so I've dropped it by a fifth, for those of you who know what that means. Now, here's a song I recorded. I'm trying to remember it now.
Which one are you going to do?
Okay, I'm going to do a song written by Bryn Howarth, who I'm hoping is going to agree to come into the studio here when we can open up in December. And we can have people in. And if not now, then in the new year. And we recorded a couple of songs for the Volume 2, which will be out next year. Just so we're clear, John, next year. That's Volume 2. You don't get one. You don't get two for one. You get one, and then that's the next one next year. You'll have to buy that one. Remember, everybody, please remember that the money that you gave us, it helped to make the album. We will not, when you get this album, 360 or so of you that helped do that will get that. We do not get money from that. We have taken no money from this at all. So the only money we'll get is when you buy extra copies. And so eventually we'll need to know how many you want. There are so many great tracks on this. It's such a great album.
And this is one that Jonathan's not done before, but actually it's a beautiful song and I think really speaks to where we all are at this moment. It's been done a number of times by other people, but
very
first
famously
time for
by
JV, Sandy Denny.
But yeah, in
Denny.
Fairport Convention. And he wrote this in 1975, and he wrote to me. We were recording on the day, and the day 2 days before I said something, and he said, well, would you consider singing this song? This is a song that might be very appropriate for you in particular. And it goes like this. These are the moments that we love so well, precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives they fade away. These are the moments that we wish would stay. And if I had my life to live again, I would choose to live with you, my friend. Time moves slowly, yet it goes so fast. And who knows how long our days will last. So cherish deep within you the love you get today. Let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. And when we're old with not too much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. We'll have the memories that we made today. And I play that with him on the guitar.
That's
just
rather
very
lovely.
simple, and we finish the whole album with that. Very simple. So cherish, just get that. Cherish deep within you the love you get today, and let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. When we're old with not so much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. We'll have the memories that we made today. And that will be the end of that album next.
Lovely.
Yeah, a couple of songs.
Evelyn has spotted that we haven't got a camera on your hands tonight, and the technical team have been very gracious. The technical problems are actually me. I tripped over a wire earlier and plucked it out of the camera, and it's broken. So I do apologise for that, but it'll be working as normal next week.
This is for Lynn Arney. This is
It
one of
is?
the biggest songs I ever sing, and it's huge. It's called No More Night. No more nights, no more pain, tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. The timeless theme, earth and heaven will pass away. It's not a dream. God will make all things new that day. God is the curse from which I stumbled and fell. If it is banished to eternal hell, no more nights, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. See all around, all the nations bow down to sing. The only sounds are the praises to Christ the King. Slowly the names from the book are read. I know the King, so there's no need to dread. No more nights, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. See over there, there's a mansion prepared just for me, where we will live with my Savior eternally. No more nights, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises
my days. That was a big one.
Now, those of you who have no idea what that song is about, because it speaks in what I call Christianese speak.
Yes. It does, but I think they got the idea.
And I think you get the idea. It's a coming day. Christians believe.
Yeah, heaven.
And it's a big song, and it talks about something that is to come. And when you're facing difficult times, actually, that song of hope, and I know for many of you, and Lynn, you asked for that time and time again, and so many people did ask for that.
Yeah, I think she said she's asked you about 27 weeks, and you
27
finally
weeks,
did it.
and I did.
But how?
That is a big one.
It's a big sin.
Now, I'm gonna make a phone call actually.
Are you?
On this very special day. Well, actually, just one more on this day.
One more song.
And I think.
Yeah, that's a good one to do.
Who's it for?
Good one to do. This is for Diana. Diana, I think your birthday's on the 11th, which is in a few days' time. But actually, Margaret, I noticed that you said it is well. So it's an appropriate song for Jonathan to do now. So, Diana, this is for you, and happy birthday for next week.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. Sing, please. It is well.
It is well
with my soul.
with my soul.
It is well.
It is well
with my soul. I see all the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin not in part, but the whole is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh my soul. Sing it with me now. It is well.
It is well
With my soul.
with my soul.
It is well. It is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll, the trumpet shall sound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It And I sing that for people who need a little bit of peace in their lives.
Yep,
For all of
quite
you
a
who
lot
are
of us out
recovering
there.
from operations. We think of Sylvia Newman today. I remember her. I remember all the people. Also, the last one I sung, the Les Mis song, I thought of all the people that actually needed comforting, and Rob Barron, for Stuart, for people like Heather Buckner who were so moved by it, for Alan and Jackie Slough. People that come to mind, we mention you all and we think of you all. And this is a good juncture to point out that this community is a community of people. I say it every week, and I'm going to say it every week. I'm going to keep stressing it. If people don't like this, I don't care.
It's true. It's
it
true.
is a community of people with faith, and people with no faith, and with people with very little faith. And we welcome everybody, and we reach out our arms of friendship to you. That's what it's all about.
Do.
And you can come in and you can listen to these songs, these gospel songs. They can mean something or nothing to you. And you listen to Autumn Leaves and they can mean a lot to you. The music can speak to your soul. And just having this 2 hours when we're live. And I'm just going to phone somebody back now.
Significant for today.
Significant for today because Remembrance Sunday is a very special time. And these people we got to know many years ago. They live next door to us, and I thought of them, well, Sue thought of this straight away, and these are the first people we're going to call. Her name's Sharon and Crispin, her husband Crispin and Sharon, who are down in Horsham, and we welcome them to the show, hopefully, if they haven't dropped off to sleep by now.
Probably thinking, we can't answer the phone because Jonathan's going to ring in a minute.
Would you answer the phone, please, Sharon? Now, hurry up.
Oh, what's going on tonight?
What is going on with people? I think they've gone to bed. They have to. They've probably put their phones on silent.
Did you warn them that they were several
I did.
seconds behind?
Yep. I think they're probably watching Search the Midwife again.
It's not on yet.
Well, it could be. Just contact Sharon and tell her we'll contact her later. I'll speak to... Oh, no answer. All right, we'll try one more time. Just drop her a line and say, could you please... Are you on text with her? Ah! Hello, what are you doing? Have you gone to the toilet? Now you choose to go to the toilet.
Can she hear you?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Sharon, hello.
Hello.
I think General Major Brigadier, whatever your rank is.
No, I tell you, I was watching you.
Yeah.
And of course there was
A delay.
Can you hear me?
I called it.
Look, Sharon, I've warned you before. Now get on with it. Now,
Crispin, come downstairs.
hello, Sharon,
come
and hello.
downstairs.
Is
Crispin.
Crispin there as well?
Come on, guys, get your act together.
Are we?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you there now?
Yes, sorry. I was watching and it was ringing on the computer and I was trying to answer my phone and it wouldn't do it because of the delay. Anyway, we're here.
Are you here? Is Crispin there as well? Is
He's just staggering away from the laptop downstairs.
Okay, is Colonel Crispin here as well? Crispy. Okay, Sharon, welcome. And once Crispin comes in, let me know he's there, will you?
Yes, he's here now.
Hello, Crispin.
Hello, mate.
Nice to see you on this. Nice to hear you. And welcome to JV Live in the Steinway Room. And we welcome you and to our hundreds and sometimes thousands of guests around the world in 27 different countries listening to us at this very moment. And we welcome you on this day. It's a funny day. Tell us a little bit. You served, both of you, in the armed services that when. Tell us what rank and where you were and with whom and who did you serve with, all of that kind of stuff.
Right, let Crispin start.
So I served with the REME from 1977 to 86.
REME, and who's that for those of us who are not initiated?
The Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers.
That's a very long title for a thing. What does it actually mean?
Oh, I played with radio, radar, things like that.
Are you allowed to say that right now?
Yes, I can say that.
Oh, right, you can. Excellent.
And then I moved on to the Royal Signals until 1991.
Okay. So you were in for how long? How long were you there for? When did you open it? Open your
14 years.
14 years. Is that long? Is that typical?
No, there's a lot of people that work on through to the full 27 years
Yes.
or more.
That's the full 27 years. Is that the normal? Oh gosh, I didn't realise that. I had no idea.
Well, to get a pension is
22.
22, but 27 if you move on to be an officer, and then after that, as long as it takes before they let you go.
So you guys didn't get a pension then?
No. Oh, did I?
Yes.
Yes, I qualified for a pension, not very big one, not the full pension.
No.
So I'll get part pension.
And what about you? What about you, Sharon? When did you go in, and
well,
how long did you?
I commissioned into the WRAC, which no longer exists, but was the Women's Royal Army Corps.
I thought that was the RAC. Sorry, the RAC, because I know a man who can.
Not the RAC, no, not car mechanics.
Okay.
Just
checking.
But at that time, women could only join the WRAC, and then they were seconded or attached to other corps and regiments. Now, they can join pretty much any corps or regiment within the within the army. So I commissioned, started my course in 1985, commissioned April 1986, and I came out in December 1994, pregnant with my son.
Yeah, yes, because that did you move next to us before that? I can't remember now.
Yeah, we moved to you, I think, 92, because I was serving with the Fusiliers in Germany, yes. And went with them to the first Gulf War. So served and came back 91. So it was late 91 we came back, and I was then serving in Mill Hill in North London.
Yes.
And then we bought the house in Guildford next to you. So that would have been, I think, early 92.
Okay. I mean, did you? I mean, both of you you attained the rank eventually of captain. Is that correct, Crispin?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that? Did you want to go further?
Yes.
Yes.
What do I ask? What stopped you?
Pregnancy for me.
Yes.
Pregnancy. Well, I didn't have to come out prior to me being pregnant. Women, once they became pregnant, had to leave the service. I can't remember exactly when that changed, but that wasn't the case for me. But Crispin had already left and had taken a contract in the United States, and I was serving in Northern Ireland at the time, so I didn't think it was wise really to stay in as a single parent with my husband abroad. So I came out. Yeah.
So, I mean, judging, each of you take turns. I love having you both on, by the way. It was a real eye opener for me when you moved here, because I hadn't really known. Although Sue's father had been in the MOD, therefore she'd served. She'd lived out in Germany in the Army of the Rhine, and he had served as a signalman in the Navy, and loved it and talked a lot about it to me. And it was the best time of his life as far as he was concerned. Yeah. Everything else kind of paled into insignificance. And it was the best and worst time. It was the kind of, those things. But I didn't really know lots about it. And then you, over a bottle of port or two, started to help me to see some of the realities of the life, as well as the good stuff, as well as the bad. But it was... You went to a lot of places. Tell me, where did you end up serving? You can say where you went. If you don't have to, you don't remember what I said. You can say what you want, or what you don't want to say, you don't say.
There you go, Crispin. Where did you serve?
Germany, Northern Ireland, Norway, Turkey, UK, and Canada.
Canada, that great big hot spot.
Yes. How hot can it get?
Yes. You die of boredom there, don't you? Kind of, holding your gun. But you didn't serve in. Now you, Sharon, where did you serve? Because there is a difference for you, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've got the medals in this family. So I served in Germany as well. I did a short stint in the Oman, Northern Ireland, and obviously UK and the Gulf.
The Gulf
Gulf
first,
War.
that's the
Desert
first lot.
Storm #1, Op Granby, yes.
Yes, yeah, that's very interesting, and so lots of stories, no doubt, lots of stories you can tell.
Yes. Yeah.
Good and bad.
I mean, my whole experience of being in the army, I can say with hand on heart, was just amazing. Loved it. Would have served till 55. Had circumstances been different, everything was wonderful. My time in the Gulf was just amazing. Served with amazing. I was serving with the 3rd Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. The battalion has now been disbanded, so no longer exists. But I'm still in touch with a lot of the officers, and just amazing group of people. Couldn't have wished for a nicer group of people. And our time in the Gulf was just, it was different. I saw some horrific things. A lot of bonding time, some funny things. We had an amazing sandstorm at which my tent blew away and I was left lying on my camp bed looking at the stars. Finally, I just felt like a really helpless woman because I was wandering around the desert just going, my tent's blown away. And the next morning, once the guys had sort of dug my tent about 2 feet into the sand, so make sure it stayed there, I was presented with a couple of bras that had obviously gone flying through the desert, which was, it's always wonderful. And of course, as we do, we keep ourselves entertained. So in those quiet moments, we had the sort of, the stage shows and wet T-shirt competitions, and
This is a family show.
Aren't very PC anymore, but.
No.
It just
I think
I
do quite well in a wet T-shirt competition. Don't you think I might win one?
The men look great in a wet T-shirt.
Yeah. I think that image we need to just wash ourselves off right away, get the sand out of the cracks, and
with that there was some horrible times. I mean, if anyone can remember back then, the oil pipelines were set alight, so we spent a lot of time in dark and black where the sun just couldn't get through. Saw some horrible sights of, Iraqi soldiers, just thousands of them sort of surrendering and marching, and dead bodies. And I was unfortunate to be part of the unit where we had the blue on blue, where the Americans shot at one of our vehicles and killed 11 men. So all that being said, that camaraderie, there was some horrible things you had to live with as well.
Yes. That's quite a reflection, actually. What about you, Crispin?
I had nothing quite as dramatic as all of that. I suppose the most fun time I think I had in the army was in Northern Ireland, and that was working with bomb disposal. And we got out and about all over the area, and we had some
close shaves,
close shaves at times with IRA. We had close shaves with people being silly, but apart from that, yes, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable.
And Sue was about to.
I want to know what, something like today means.
Yeah, what does these reflections of serving are what we like to hear, but also. What is a day like today? 11th hour, 11th day, 11th hour, all that. What does that mean to you? Either of you first, I don't mind.
Well, I think of there were 2 guys who 2 years after I left Northern Ireland, who were doing the same job as me, got ambushed by the IRA, and were killed. And that's something that sticks with me.
Yes.
They were doing the same job as me, probably not the same way, but yeah, that happened, and you know that just rings in my mind constantly.
About the life that they could have lived and the life that you have subsequently lived.
Yes, it was insensible that they were taken the way they were, and catastrophe.
But I suppose that the reflections when I remember singing a piece called The War Requiem, which was quite a controversial piece, but what it talks about the pity of war, the horror of war, the pity of war for men that die like cattle. It's that whole the war poets at the time, and there's no getting away from it. War is horrific, and the weapons of war and the weapons of destruction, when applied to humankind and to the mass killing of people, there's no other way of looking at it. It's horrendous, and the need for it, and the need to keep the peace. You see how wonderful peace is, and the peace, the dividend for you is that you've got a wonderful family, children that you wouldn't have had that been you. That being said, you then have the reality of the world that we live in, which is a troubled world, and we need people. I mean, what are your reflections on this day, Sharon? I just need to.
Well, I mean, I come from a service background, so I was brought up in the army. My grandfather, my father, so I have reflection, I suppose, going back through First, Second World War with the stories that I've heard from them, and not just world wars, many other operations that they've been involved in, Aden and other things like that. So that whole thing, I take time to reflect on the sacrifices that they've made, so that we can air our thoughts and
like this,
and have the freedoms that we have today. But also just those things that are closer to me, as I said, those servicemen who were lost in the Gulf, other colleagues that I've lost just through other operations or accidents that have happened during the time. But just more, I think you reflect on the fact that we join the armed forces not because we know we're going to go to war and because we like killing people, but through service to our country or even just to learn a trade. But we don't have the choice to walk away when our government says that, this is what's happening.
No.
And I think people need to remember that it's not something that's done lightly to send people to their deaths. And for those that do and come back and return either physically disabled or mentally disabled, we need to respect them, to honour them, and to look after them. And that weighs heavy on my mind. Over the last few years, I think it's that caring for those that return that I sometimes don't see enough of.
No.
We see a lot of service personnel in places that they shouldn't be because of experiences that they've had.
Yes.
And perhaps we need to be caring for them a lot more. So, it does bring it home on days like this. And my father's normally at the cenotaph every year. And of course, this year he couldn't go. So just seeing him marching.
Yes.
And I mean, this year he's been to 9 funerals, of army colleagues, just because of their age.
Yes.
And you just think, that time is moving on where we're going to have, although we still have operations abroad, perhaps, we're going to have generations that don't actually understand those sacrifices so much. And we must never forget.
No.
Because they deserve our respect, and they deserve, they just deserve to be valued in society.
Gratitude, true gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Because where they end up having led the life they've led, and then they leave the forces, and I think sometimes are just left to their own devices, and they need a little more than that.
They need support.
Some people don't perhaps realise that, when you join these services, it's not just a job, a 9-to-5 job. It is a lifestyle.
Yes.
And you live in a certain way, and you work in a certain way, and you speak to people, and you have a certain, I mean, I'm sure people that work in the aircraft industry or the aviation industry, you know, they talk to each other in a certain way that none of us would understand. And that's the same with the armed forces. And coming out and trying to explain those experiences to people that have not been there, it's very difficult. So, you know,
listen,
it's worlds apart.
We're very grateful to you for sharing this today, and both of you, and it's some personal thoughts as well as some generalised thoughts as well. But thank you for sharing that. It means a lot to people. We don't know. Those of us who haven't fought don't know. I have a friend who lives literally across from me now, who served out recently in Helmand, and major issues, struggling. And he said that people are in his own battalion, so many have been lost to suicide and despair and not supported because money is lacking and time is lacking, and they throw them a few pills and hope it's all going to be well. And so actually, you know, these kind of things, making people aware of the people around them and those that did serve, show them your, but more than gratitude, show them your respect and look after them, put your arm around them. Tell them that you value what they did and what they sacrificed in terms of their minds and what they did and how they've lost friends and everything else. Look, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go and speak to somebody else in a second. But we thank you, both of you. Thank you for coming on and talking to us. It's been absolutely brilliant having you on. I'm sorry we can't have a whole programme dedicated to this.
Been lovely hearing your voice, and thank you for all you're doing as well, Jonathan.
Thank you. Crispin, Sharon, we'll get together for dinner very soon, all right?
I hope so. We'll bring the port.
Bring the port. Excellent. See you soon.
Bye.
Take care. God bless. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was very good.
That was great.
That was exactly right.
Good to
Peter,
hear from them.
we're going to give you a ring. I saw it, and this would be relevant. Get ready to sing. You ready? When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing's going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. Last time, here we go. You just call. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you gotta do is Just call and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling. You've got a friend. Oh, darling. You've got a friend. Come on, let me hear. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Last time. This time. You've got a friend. You're going to love the new album version of that with the choir singing its heart out. It's so funkadelic. What a great call that was. And on this Remembrance Sunday, where we remember those who have fallen, we remember those who've given their lives, and we show gratitude and respect. And I just want to phone one more person. His name's Peter Day. And I had a lovely conversation with Peter today. And Louise is his long-suffering wife. And we'll find out a little bit about Peter now. And we hope he's going to be there to answer. We might.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. Lovely. Now, Peter, just before we go on, I didn't realise, and I had no idea, that you are a local Guildford boy.
Yeah. Well, brought up in Guildford, at least, yeah.
Brought up it. Were you not born here?
No.
Oh, where were you born?
Surbiton, Surrey.
Ah, right. Surbiton. Well, yes, but you dreamed of Guildford, didn't you? You're born in Surbiton, dream of Guildford. And I know that. That's what most people do. And but in fact, there's an irony, is that you live down on the south coast now. But here, you lived literally about 10 minutes walk from where we live. I didn't know this.
Yep.
And you went to what school did you go to?
RGS.
The Royal Grammar School. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he was known, in other words, ladies and gentlemen, he was known as the posh boy around here. Okay, the posh boy. We dreamed of the Royal Grammar School. However,
Right.
I'm not here to talk about how posh you were, Peter, because you do sound very posh. Now, we had, Peter, I got you on here because, and I didn't realise this until a few weeks ago, that you'd served. And tell us a little bit about your own journey, how you started, how did you get in the army? Why did you go in? What was that all about?
You haven't got enough time for me to tell it all, but basically...
The Praseed version.
Yeah. I left school rebelling a bit, ended up working for Burroughs Wellcome at the AVRI in Pirbright Animal Virus Research Institute, working with foot and mouth disease, watched my superior getting gored by young bulls because we were dealing with a foot and mouth outbreak. Packed the job in and joined the army.
As you do.
Yeah, well, by then I'd gone through everything else. There wasn't much left. I worked for a certain company fitting exhaust pipes.
Oh, really? Quick
rather
Fit.
quickly.
We can mention it here because this company, this program is sponsored by Quick Fit. Thank you. All right, go on. I'm sure I'll get a free tyre out of that. Go on. So, go on.
Yeah. I joined up, ended up in Sutton Coldfields, and the particular trade that I'd joined to do in the Royal Signals wasn't actually starting training for nearly 12 months. There was a delay on it. And I ended up being seconded to One Royal Irish Rangers as a bandsman.
You do realise how funny that sounds, don't you? Okay.
Yep, I do. I've had a lot of jokes on that one. So I spent about 8 months touring Europe mainly, playing various instruments. I was actually taken on as a piper, but then they found out that I can play brass as well.
Right, stop a minute, because this is really quite horrific. You mentioned the word pipes, okay? Now tell us a little bit, because this is very funny. You told me this, made me laugh, okay? This in Guildford. Tell us about how you started playing pipes and what happened.
Well, my dad's family come from Scotland, actually they come from Fife, which of course isn't Scotland, it's a separate kingdom.
Yes, of course.
But I developed an interest in pipes, got a set mainly because my uncle was a school teacher at George Abbott in Guildford.
Yes.
He was a music teacher. Started playing them. Mum banned me from playing at home.
Very wise.
I can't understand why. No sense
I
of
can't
humour
understand
at all.
it at all.
No. So I took to walking along the towpath of the River Way in Guildford to practice my pipes. As one does. You know, I mean, everybody does it, surely.
As you do, yeah, of course you do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the Surrey Advertiser, the local rag, had some letters about this, and they ran a thing for several weeks, because it was a once-a-week paper, and they ran a thing for several weeks about the Phantom Piper of Guildford. Yeah.
And that was you.
Anyway, that was me.
Yeah. So anyway, you start playing pipes and then trumpet for the Royals. What was it? Which one?
Royal Irish Rangers.
Royal Irish Rangers.
Yeah.
I mean, and then where'd you go from there?
Well, this was a temporary secondment, and it was all agreed that because I had the qualifications they needed when that finished, or when the trade course was due to start, I would then go and do the trade course, which I did.
Yes.
And learnt a technical trade in the Royal Signals, repairing various bits of equipment, probably some of the same stuff that Crispin was
yeah, I was going to say, you must have been... Well, did you serve at the same time, ish?
Ish, yeah. I originally joined up in 74, so around that time.
Gosh.
And spent a lot of time in Germany, spent a short while playing about on motorcycles with the white helmets, but that's another story.
Yes.
I finished my time there, had a really good time, and thought, I've got all these qualifications in electronics and communications, and there was a new thing coming out called computers, and there were methods of joining computers, which turned into the internet eventually. We were playing with that, and I thought, I'm made up for Civvy Street, came out the army, because I didn't want the next posting that they were offering me, and ended up in Germany, driving trucks for Coca-Cola because my army qualifications weren't worth the paper they were written on, for Germany at least. Married a German girl and all was going well, and then come the 1990 period, I got a telegram telling me that my services were required again for a little jaunt that they were having in some sandy places.
Right, in Kuwait, yeah.
Yeah, and went off there, playing with some things that I can't talk about, and ended up an American plane, despite the Union flag painted on the roof of our 432 armored personnel carrier. An American plane thought that we couldn't be British because we were in the wrong place, they thought, and we got a bit shook up by them.
So they fired on your truck. That was the blue on blue that, in fact, Sharon was talking about, wasn't it? It must have been that.
No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one.
Different one. Okay.
Because of what we were doing and where we were, it wasn't highly publicised.
Okay.
But anyway.
Okay. Don't say any more.
I spent quite a long time initially in American field hospitals, and then got moved on to Germany, where the German medics then contacted my wife, who by then, of course, was going spare because she didn't know where I was or what was going on.
Yeah, that was 10 weeks. You said before that happened.
Yeah. Then since then I've been bumbling along.
Just tell me, Peter, because it was the show isn't long enough, clearly, and it's I'd love to talk. But what's interesting about it, and my takeaway from our conversation, was that life. It was a difficult time for you when that happened, and when the people that were involved were killed, and the people that were close to you were killed. I mean, it left an imprint on your life, and tell us, if you can, a little bit about how that's translated to a day like today. how it relates to September November the 11th. You know, how does that tell us?
Yeah, it's very difficult to explain. I mean, I never used to be an emotional person. Now there are certain hymns in particular which can turn on the waterworks, I'm not ashamed to admit. And certain things bring back certain memories. I have to say that fireworks aren't as bad to me now as they were, but there was a time when if fireworks started going off, I would literally run screaming and hide under the duvet until they were over. I just could not stand the noise. I was very lucky. Well, no, sorry, I'll rephrase that. I sadly lost my German wife in 2016 and was very fortunate to meet Louise shortly afterwards, and we spent a long time not messing about. We spent a long time umming and ahhing, and eventually got married in 2018. Louise brought me back to the church and to a little bit of sanity. I had been in the church in Germany again, playing in a church brass band, but yeah, it's. I'm not saying it's the church, but it's the. I can't put a finger on the right word. It's the comradeship of the church. It's the family of church.
Yes. Yes.
It makes such a difference.
That's a huge thing to say, and actually, for a lot of people, they say you go to church for the preaching, or you go to the church for this, or actually, generally, people go to be together. They go together to be part of something, and I know that's one of the things that most people miss is that camaraderie, that being together, that fellowship. And at a time like this today, that's what we are missing. And so actually, I guess this group, Peter, let me just be said, I haven't really spoken to you until today, okay, when we had our conversation. And you've been such a delight to talk to, and it's been a total joy just having a chat with you. And I came off the phone this morning, and I just said to Sue, what a great guy he is, really lovely man. I said, Lou's a pain in the neck, but he's a great guy. I know that will annoy her, but
in the shed tonight, aren't I?
You're in such trouble tonight. But but we just want to say thank you for your service. I know you didn't ask to be shot up. You didn't ask to be aimed at. You didn't ask to be targeted in this way. But the way that we are grateful for your service, and we respect that, and we thank you for what you did on our behalf, because that's what you do. You acted on our behalf, and you wanted a song. I'm going to try and do it for you. You send it to me in E flat. There's no way I can sing it in that. It's too high. So I'm having to make it up in D. So just forgive my little JV Insta arrangements. Here it goes. Peter, we'll talk again. But bless you. God bless you and Lou together.
Thank you.
In these days that lie ahead. Okay, mate?
And to you too.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Now, Peter, thank you, Peter. And he asked for this, and I suspect this will be one of those that brings him to tears, but... Dear Lord and Father of mankind, forgive our foolish ways. Reclothe us in our rightful minds, in pure lives like theirs who heard beside the Syrian sea the gracious calling of the Lord. Let us, like them, without a word, rise up and follow thee. Rise up and follow thee. Drop thy still dews of quietness, still all our striving cease. Take from our souls the strain and stress, and let our ordered lives confess the beauty of thy peace, the beauty of thy peace. Remember this, Sue? Remember this one? Breathe through the heat of our desire, thy coolness and thy power. Let sense be dumb. Let sense be dumb. Let flesh retire. Speak through the earthquake, wind and fire. Oh, still small voice of calm. Oh, still small voice of calm. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness through every breath. You will be there. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. If doubts and fears come closing in, sing with me. We lean on you when strength may fail, and Father God, you pour your Spirit down. The clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world. The nails that held
that was particularly for Judy Wallach, I think her name is. I'm not sure if I said that right. Judy, you are suffering from COVID, and the friend actually just wanted to say, I'm sorry, I can't remember who asked for it for you because I was going to do it last week, but this is for you, and to say that you have been an amazing district nurse and given so much time and love to so many people, to everyone. So we think of you tonight and we just pray a swift recovery.
Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim.
Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God hold you, enfold you, and keep you
wrapped around His heart.
May you
be known
by love. God hold you, enfold you, and keep you
wrapped around His heart.
May you
be known
by love. So talk to them about what?
So for those of you who have been enjoying certain songs tonight, in particular, Jonathan sang several from It Is Well. So No More Night, that incredible version, is on there, but also It Is Well, which is so beautiful. And as so many of you have said, it's what we need at the moment. So that's on the It Is Well. Van the Man, the Have I Told You Lately, that lovely version, that's on Pilgrim. Of course, lots of other albums. Just come to jonathanvera.com and you will be able to listen to and select the albums that you want. If you're going to order something for Christmas, just let us know, and Jonathan is very happy to sign it, dedicate it to whoever you're giving it to. So that will be absolutely fine. Everything is £8 apart from the Hymns Project 2 stuff, which is £10. So such a snip. What can I say?
When it comes out, the album will be out very soon, and there'll be lots of you who will be ordering more than one of these, we hope,
Yes.
for Christmas presents. And if it will be fairly, Sue's going to be really working hard with my sister Ruth to get these out to you as soon as we can, bulk. So we're getting it out to you. And if you want pre-orders for this, actually, if you are interested in more than one, then let us know. And want to give to a friend.
I'll get it up on the website as soon as I can, really, so that you can order it. If you are very kind and you'd like to give us some finance, then you can either do it through PayPal/PayPal/ .me. That's right, Jonathan Vera. It's tricky to get it right. So for those of you who don't like using PayPal, a bit worried you're not getting it right, then just send me an email, sue@jonathanvera.com, and I will give you the bank account details. And that's probably a lot more straightforward for a lot of people. So that's the address, sue@jonathanvera.com. One more thing before you start. Bring Him Home, that lovely version that we had out with the poppies and so on. Rachel, bless her, has managed to get it up onto YouTube. So that will be premiering on YouTube at 10 p.m. So if you wanted to catch it again, it's on YouTube. And if you want to send it to people as a link, it's perhaps easier to do it that way. And there is so much there that Rachel's been putting up there. So it's always worth going onto YouTube.
So much on my YouTube channel.
Just going and enjoying a bit of JV
just
when you're feeling
get
a
those
bit down
clicks
during
up
the week.
there and subscribe and then just click on and get. I'd like the name Jonathan Vera to mean more than just a few thousand. It'd be great if people can actually be clicking on and going across the world and clicking in. I'm just going to finish. Somebody asked about the video. My son Nick will be hopefully starting work soon-ish on the video If You've Got a Friend, which will come out, which will feature all of you in the choir, and that will go up on YouTube as well once we've got copyright permission. You understand, legality is where we have to sit on this. Otherwise,
Got to be careful. Got to be
trouble.
careful.
So that's why we don't have any pre-recording stuff on this now anymore. On Facebook, we don't put any of our stuff up because it could be stopped. This we're getting to the end, and it's been an absolutely our pleasure having you. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy most of what we do. Some of what we do you may not enjoy, but we hope that you enjoy most of it and you come back. And those when you don't, go and have a cup of tea, come back, and it'll all be over the bits you don't enjoy.
But you are always very welcome in our home,
Everybody.
in our Steinway Room.
And
every
that's
single
the
one
point.
of you.
Every single one of you. You don't want to lose anybody for any reason at all. All right? You come to us, and we'd love to see you. There's a Facebook group that you can join, the Jonathan JV community. It's called. I didn't call it that. They called it that. You called it that. And so it's a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group that you can join. Just apply to join, and we'll let you in.
But it's very much fits into what Peter was talking about earlier about
it's an
having
arm around.
a group of people around you, and I know a lot of us have found that very, very helpful. So please,
And a place to share very, very bad jokes.
Yes.
And just feel part of something. Second week in a row I'm finishing late. Please hang on until the end. We'd love to have you. And sing this song with us. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. See you next week. God bless you and good night.